media.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to The Fringe. One thing I've always said on this channel that I will do and continue to do is be transparent. And even if there are those that I support in the political community that do something that is questionable, well, I have to call it out because that's fair. That's what we need to start doing if we are to get ahead. Today, we need to talk about Danielle Smith. I've been a very avid supporter of Danielle Smith. I've backed her entire political career. However, I do have some questions about what is going on, what Danielle is talking about, because it seems like she's done a complete 180 recently, causing many people in Alberta to become upset. Now, again, I'm going to wait for a little more detail to come before I make judgment. Not to say I don't feel anger at what's being discussed, but of course, things can change all the time in politics. Again, many pundits that are in Alberta, many well-known people that are on social media are upset. Many people are actually calling for her resignation, and I just have questions. I don't want to throw any ads in today. I don't want to do none of that stuff. Let's just get straight to it. Danielle Smith posting not too long ago, I had a great time meeting with municipal businesses and community leaders in Northern Alberta this week, not to mention all the incredible Albertans I met. Big thank you to everyone who welcomed me and my team. We had some fantastic discussions about preserving our way of life and exploring the endless opportunities ahead. Now, this was, again, just a marketing tweet. In fact, half the time I question if Danielle's actually tweeting what's on her Twitter, or if somebody's tweeting on her behalf. But you can see in the replies, she recently sat on a friend of the channel, Sean Newman, for the Sean Newman podcast. And again, I've had Danielle on the channel. I've had positive conversations with Danielle. And we're going to get into the clip from Sean Newman. But of course, the first comments, preserving our way of life, you made it clear you intend to do the exact opposite. We all know where those 5 million people are coming from. You don't just import people, you import their religion and corruption as well. You're not to be trusted. Next comment says, your recent comment regarding the population of Alberta is alienating your base. You are quickly heading towards a one and done. My adult son can't find a job, can't buy a house, and you want to populate Alberta with 5 million more people. This is preserving our way of life. Alberta way is being choked out. People saying, are you trying to build your own army? I mean, it keeps going on. Danielle, Albertans are very, very upset at the province. Our province Trudeau-loving prosecutors have kept Albertan citizens moldering in jail with no trial for the better part of 3 years. Again, talking about the Coots 4. This is cruel and unusual punishment. This is political show trial to intimidate citizens. Your lies about the economy and employment on the radio was disgusting. End your 10 million population by 2050 goal. Say Alberta is full. Stop requesting more immigration from Trudeau. End your immigrant police force program. Pass a law enforcing citizenship verification for provincial and municipal voting. So again, the comments continue to keep going on this. When she was sitting down on Sean Newman podcast, this is again where everything blew up. Now, again, if things are being taken out of context, I will say that Alberta has always been the driving force to bring people to this province. In fact, I moved here in the 90s when people were saying that the advantages were in Alberta. The jobs were there. The opportunities were there. I do know that we have a mass immigration problem. I'm not stupid. I get that that is part of the equation that we're looking at here. But again, the context of what Danielle is talking about, I would again question, because when you do these podcasts, sometimes things can come out one way and be said another. Now, Danielle does have to clarify that. But again, in an interview, Danielle Smith declares she wants to double Alberta's population to 10 million through more newcomers. This unhinged plan would overwhelm housing and wipe out Alberta's distinctive identity. 70% of Albertans want lower immigration. Why won't she listen? Let's take a listen to what she said on the Sean Newman podcast.
That's why I've said, let's have an aggressive target to double our population. I'm going to put this out there because I've said that in the throne speech. And I want people to understand how important that is. We have to be that bastion of liberty, and people are going to want to come here, and we want to embrace them, and we want to be able to build this place out so that we can actually have the political clout in Alberta that we deserve. Because right now, we're being treated as a junior partner by Ottawa. And if we end up with the strongest economy, we'll double our oil production.
You want to go from rough numbers, you probably know the number better than me, 4.7 million, roughly?
We're almost at 5 million. We'll
okay.
be at 5 million.
So you want to double it to 10 million?
Yeah, I do. That's why I've
again, many things can be taken out of context in this speech. Now, I don't know if she's talking about migrants. She didn't say, I want to immigrate people from third world countries or, asylum seekers. There was none of that mentioned. Of course, she said she wanted to bring another 5 million people here. Now, what I'm getting to on this is that Danielle has always pushed for oil and gas. She's always pushed for jobs in this province. She wants to create a free Alberta in terms of using our resources to our advantage, at what she used to call the Alberta advantage. Job creation is the number one thing about Alberta that brings people here. In fact, I've talked many times about how roughly 60% of the people who moved out of British Columbia last year were statistically said to be coming to Alberta. Now, that changes who votes for what parties. That does change for what happens in a province, but I don't know necessarily if she's talking about immigrants. I don't know if she's talking about bringing millions more Canadians into the province, but things have just blown up as a result of that. We don't have houses. We are full. But again, Pierre talks about, getting rid of the red tape, about incentivizing cities to get properties built. Now she's talking about this happening by 2050. Of course, a friend of the channel, Marty Up North, forgive my scrolling here, tweeting out, Alberta building permits in dollars. If you factor inflation and population growth, it's easy to see why there is a housing crisis. We're not just building enough homes. Even at the inflated prices, there's no money in building homes. Materials and labors are too expensive. He goes on, net immigration is out of control. Danielle Smith wants to double our population in the next few decades. At this pace in 2040, more than 60% of people living in the province will have been born elsewhere. That's cultural genocide. Why would anyone be okay with this? Now, again, I'm not defending Danielle, but I'm also saying that context can go a long way. On that podcast where she was sitting with Sean Newman, again, I would look for clarification, strict definition of what Danielle means by those doubling of the population. Again, when Marty talks about 60% of the people living in the province will be from somewhere else, if you talk to anybody in Calgary, I will tell you right now, it is very hard to find somebody who was born here, raised here, and lived here their whole lives. Most people that I talk to moved at some point from somewhere else into Calgary. They did that because of the opportunities, again, the jobs. Now, we do have a problem with immigrants. I'm not disregarding that, and I do agree that needs to be stopped. But again, if there's jobs available, if the houses are available, if Danielle wants to make Alberta a powerhouse, and she's not talking about asylum seekers or overinflated migrants that Trudeau is bringing over. I mean, she's been very frank, even on the Sean Newman clip there, where she says, we're fighting with Ottawa. She doesn't like Justin Trudeau. She doesn't like Justin Trudeau's politics. So again, not saying that she didn't say what she meant, just I would like clarification. 70 years of housing starts in Alberta. My kids are fourth generation Albertans. They're in their mid-20s trying to get their life going but can't afford rent, never mind owning a house. The Alberta advantage that I worked so hard to achieve is slipping away right in front of us. Marty goes on again. We're full with a no vacancy sign in the highway by Brooks, Alberta. Again, this is close to Danielle Smith's technical riding. He also tweaks out Keean Bexty is on Danielle Smith's payroll because Keean tweaks out Premier Danielle Smith clarifies that she is against Justin Trudeau's open border policies, claiming that his policies are responsible for the difficulties the province of Alberta is facing. People are coming to Alberta in record numbers to enjoy the Alberta advantage in everything from job opportunities to low taxes. That said, the current federal government's open border policies are resulting in unsustainable levels of population increase that make it very difficult for any province, not just Alberta, even one as wealthy as Alberta, to keep up, leading to shortages in housing, public infrastructure, and needed health and education professionals. Our government has made and will continue to make significant investments to build more schools, hospitals, roads, hire more nurses, teachers, doctors to address these growth pressures the best we can, and hope the federal government will implement more responsible and sustainable immigration policies in the immediate future. So again, it all comes down to, is this lost in translation? Is it we're misunderstanding Danielle's meaning of what she wants to do in order to double Alberta's population? Are those Canadians coming over? Is it when we have jobs? Is it when we have houses? I think we're getting a little ahead of ourselves. And just to clarify, in case anybody else wants to say people are on Danielle's payroll, I am not on Danielle Smith's payroll. I wish I was, but no, I'm not on Danielle's payroll. I'm just merely saying that when you put into context what was said, I do believe that we do need clarity. I do believe that we do need a strict definition of what Danielle is talking about. Again, I'm not saying that she's right. I'm not saying that she's wrong. I'm just saying that until we have 100% result or knowledge of what she was discussing or what she meant by her statement, I don't think we should be jumping to conclusions or causing division. I think that we're all on the same team here and that we all need to work together to ensure that we continue to, build a province or build a country that's not going to have woke leaders like Justin Trudeau, installed mayors like Jody Gondek or Mayor Sohi in Edmonton. I think that if we divide, we're doing nothing more than splitting votes, and we're driving population to move apart from each other in terms of common interests when it comes to politics. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Do you think Danielle Smith took a step back? Do you think she's done a 180? Do you think that she meant that she wants to bring mass immigration in or devastate Alberta at a time when we're already full? Let me know your comments down below. Again, I'm interested because I believe this is an instance that's all based on perspective and how one sees the situation. But I want to hear from you. If it's your first time here, I hope this video has earned your subscription. Make sure as you're hitting that subscribe button, you also click your bell for notifications and join me live here and every Friday night on the channel for Friday Night Fringe, our live stream Friday night live show where I sit down typically with my wife, Miss Fringe, and we talk about everything that's going on in the world of politics and everything that's happening this week, as well as back and forth within the community and some Q&A. It's always good to listen to you guys and hear what you have to say inside those live streams. And I and my wife look very forward to seeing each and every one of you every single Friday here on the channel. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and have a great rest of your day. I'll catch you on the next one.